just got done watching the Boruto episode this week, and to be honest, it's not that I don't understand why people are not very interested in these episodes with Kawaki so far, because nothing is really happening. Like, literally nothing is happening. It's just Kawaki interacting with specific characters and learning to leave village and learning things that he's never really had an experience with before. But I actually don't think that that's much of a problem, and I actually am kind of enjoying this in different ways than you would have really anticipated. Obviously, we saw little bits and pieces of Kawaki's backstory with the way that he grew up with his biological father, and then eventually when he was picked up by the Kara, and sort of had an idea of some different types of experiments that he had to go through. But in this episode, I saw a couple of things about Kawaki and his behavior and the way that he was, interacting with certain people, and I was actually really enjoying that aspect about his character. So in the episode is basically we just continue off of where we were last week, which basically is Kawaki broke a vase that Himawari made for Hinata, and Boruto said if you want to make up for it, then go buy a new vase or something. So he goes out and he leaves to go buy a new vase, and Naruto goes along with him. And Naruto, being the Hokage, takes them around the Leaf Village and just does normal everyday activities that normal people in this society and the world of peace and and all that would actually be able to do. But the way that he behaves and the way that he was acting towards other people, and subtle ways you're able to see a glimpse of how he had to really live and the experiences that he had to went through and the way that his just lifestyle was. Like, typically in the real world and in the world of the Naruto universe, people have multiple meals a day, that being breakfast, lunch, and dinner. He has never experienced anything like this before, and he keeps questioning like Naruto that they had just eaten. Why are they eating again when they went to go get taiyaki? It's a snack meal that you can go ahead and eat during the middle of the day. He's never done anything like this before. Even though it's such a small little thing that people do on a day-to-day basis, he's never done anything like this before, and this is his first time actually eating this in any specific way, and he actually ended up really enjoying it. He actually thought it was very delicious. And later on in the episode, he goes on and eats ramen with Naruto, and he realizes that they're having another meal. Why are they eating again? And yeah, it's because he's having another meal of the day when he probably doesn't get that much food out of the experience that he was living in before. And I really like seeing that, and I also really liked seeing in the episode that even small things can remind him of previous trauma, because realistically, if you were someone who went through really severe trauma in your life, sometimes very small, minuscule things that most people don't even really think about will actually trigger something in your mind to remember a previous traumatic event that you went through in your life. That's why women and certain men, depending on the circumstance, have a hard time with relationships, is because they are remembering the trauma that they had to experience, that they had to go through with their previous partner. And let's say maybe it was like a sexual assault or sexual abusement or whatever. It wasn't a very good experience, and even small things remind him of that. And I really like how they were able to show it off in this episode with Kawaki, and the fact that Naruto is trying so desperately to help him through this, because he realizes that this was a very traumatic thing for Kawaki, and that's why he's closed himself off as much as he has. He's trying to get him to open up, and that's basically the reason why he's been accompanying him this whole time. He wants him to open up and realize that he's safe and that people want to care about him, and that's what we're just going to be seeing so far. And that was really all there really was to this episode. It was just him and Naruto walking around the Leaf Village, him experiencing things that he's never experienced before, getting a little bit more glimpses as to the traumatic experiences that he's had to go through, and just basically just getting to learn a little bit more about him and seeing how he's going to interact with certain people. And yeah, it was very interesting to see that he was going to act with certain people. It wasn't like stellar, but at least it was interesting enough to be able to view it, and I enjoyed it for that. So that's all I really had to say about the episode. There's not really a whole lot to say, other than at the end of the episode, Kashin Koji ends up sneaking into the Leaf Village, and he goes ahead and explains that they have a sensory unit that's able to detect people who have been registered into the system, per se, of those who have been able to enter, who have previously entered into the Leaf Village, and those who haven't. And Kashin Koji just fucking walks right on in. Obviously, he doesn't walk through the front gate, he goes over the walls and sneaks in, but regardless, he sneaks in and he doesn't get fucking detected at all. And just it's just furthermore that just kind of points and indicates that this motherfucker, for some reason, is Jiraiya. I don't know how he's Jiraiya, but he's fucking Jiraiya. I don't know why. I don't know why they're making it really seem this type of way, but there's no other possible explanation as to who we can actually possibly be. It's just like, what is he doing? Like what do you mean that you're able to summon toads? You fucking have a Rasengan and you kind of look like Jiraiya and you sneak into the village without getting detected like Jiraiya has done before in the past. I don't know. It's very weird. It was just like, come on, man. What are you doing this to me? I fucking love Jiraiya. You're making him the bad guy. I don't like that. So, yeah, that's it. That's all I really have to say about the episode. Next week's episode, we're going to be seeing a little bit of training for Boruto and probably potentially get him to grasp a little bit of the karma seal a little bit more, which should be interesting depending on his interactions with Kawaki, of course, but it also seems like Naruto's going to be joining along, and they're going to be doing some pretty intense sparring, potentially, so we'll see what happens when we ever see the next episode, which is next week. So yeah, that's pretty much it. If you guys enjoyed the video, leave a like. If you want to see more, subscribe. Hope you guys have a fantastic day. I'm out. Peace.